.9 WEFM. Activated mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
All right, so we are back with you. Time is now 8:35, and in this program, we cover a range of topics, right? We deal with current affairs, we deal with current affairs and topical things, right? So I noticed last week Ari had up a particular post on Facebook. Now the post was made public, so I'm not talking about Ari business, right? So Ari had a post here that says, unpopular opinion, dating this new generation of West Indian women isn't good for your mental health. If you're a man serious about finding a partner and peace. All right, let me read it again. Dating this new generation of West Indian women isn't good for your mental health if you're a man serious about finding a partner and peace. And I found it such an interesting topic. An interesting opinion, right?
I
didn't bother to go in on Ari because I said, you know what, Roleza, sometimes what you need to do is hear why somebody thinks the way that they do. So Ari, over to you, and then I would see what happens.
On what I said, and I know I would have gotten pushback when I made the post, and I did get pushback, but I stand on what I said. Immediately, when you say something like that, the first thing that goes through a woman's mind is, oh, it's money. He vex cause is either he don't have money or he want a woman who require more than he could give. No, it's not that simple. No, I'm on social media. I see posts, I hear stories, I speak to other men. And men always would point out these same issues. There's poor communication, there's unrealistic expectations, there's a cheating culture, and there's a lack of effort. And I'm traveled, so the more I speak to men who date outside of the culture, outside of the West Indian realm, they have these problems less. And I'm not attacking Caribbean women on a whole, because there are some women that are different. There are always exceptions to the rules in every circumstance. But I've had 2 relationships outside of West Indian culture, and they were very peaceful.
Let me ask though, what were they West Indians? Were they black? Were they of a different ethnicity?
White American and Afro, Latina, Guatemalan, Belizean mixture.
You like the mix up?
Seasoning, they call it seasoning. But so one person had asked me, why do I feel the way I feel? And I said, for the same reason that I just listed, poor communication. You can be clear. I've spoken to men here in St. Vincent. I would say, hey, I would tell my partner, this is what I want. This is how I'd like to be treated. This is what I have to offer. If there's an issue, this is how we can fix it. This is how we can move on. And some woman will tell you, nah, let me do it another way. Nah.
Is it that they're proposing to do it another way, or is it that you as a man mean that your way has to be the way?
No, let's communicate. Nah, you're supposed to read my mind.
Oh, you mean as a woman?
Yeah, let's work on this. Nah, I need to give you some attitude, and then I deal with it when I feel it. That's what I mean.
Okay.
Then there's a cheating culture. Everybody thinks that welcoming yourself into someone's relationship right now is cool, it's trendy, it's fun. Oh, I have a roster. I have 3, 4, 5 men. Oh, that is a somebody man, but meh. It's trendy now. People think it's cool. People bragging about it. It's all over socials. You hear people speaking. I used to think it was an age group thing. It's not. All kind of age group. And we know these things been going on for a long time. That's why you have outside children. That is why you have broken homes. These things going on for a while. But now it's social media. It's popularized. And now it's trendy. Now it's cool. Everybody thinks it's okay to do these things. Then there's unrealistic expectations, where a woman believe that
let's just some, right? Let's just use some.
I speak in generally. I don't mean everybody.
Okay. Well, yes.
Yeah,
so
I speak in generally.
Some still.
What's mine is mine, and what's yours is mine. That's the general rule of the day. Your house is mine. My stuff is mine. If we getting married, we need a joint bank account where all your money going into that, but I get to save my money on the side. There's always these unrealistic expectations set. And yes, this is still an interactive program. 457-9997, both WhatsApp and calling, and we're live on Facebook and YouTube. Then there's the lack of effort. We have no...
Okay, sorry, but you're ready. How this thing?
Yes, we have now entered the realm of, if this stress me, I done. If one thing go wrong, I done. People don't work for nothing. People don't put the genuine effort into learning their partner, into growing with their partner, into building a foundation. And I feel like all of these problems are common within the West Indian spare. I have a list, excuse me. But yes. And naturally, I'd get kickback. But you as a West Indian woman, Roleza, what do you have to say in response to what I'm saying?
Where do I begin? You know that song? To tell the story of...
I don't know.
All right. So, Ari, so this is why it is I found it to be interesting is that of recent times I have been hearing a lot of men commenting on the fact that they're having problems with women, right? And you and I, there is a bit of an age difference. I'm not sure exactly how old you are, but I know that I'm at least 10 plus years older than you, right? So, I how do I start? The thing of it is that I am wondering partially, and maybe because I'm speaking for myself here as a bit of an older woman and as a woman who has accomplished enough, I suppose, independently or by myself, right? Where I am not sure if it's a case where this empowerment that we have had as women is rubbing off indirectly on you men. Because what it is that I have tend to what I've found for me is that I think sometimes a man doesn't know where he stands with me in that there isn't anything necessarily that he can provide for me that I'm probably not able to do for myself. What it is that I realize is that for some men, they like to feel needed, they like to feel wanted, right? And I'm the type of person, hold on, right? I had a laugh here, sorry. I'm the type of person where generally I know what I'm about. I can make decisions for myself. I think through things thoroughly. So I don't necessarily need to approach you as the man and ask for your opinion on things, because generally my opinion so far in life have worked out to be fine, right? But I've realized that this causes a bit of a conflict because men don't necessarily feel wanted. They don't feel as if they're needed. So I, as a woman, have had to sometimes fall back and allow the man to at least think. I probably shouldn't even be saying this on air like this, but to think that he's making some sort of input in my life, right? So I know that I have that problem there, and it's something that and to be fair,
admitting is the first step.
And to be fair though, Ari, and I think I have to think of even within my own upbringing, because I grew up in a single parent household, right? It was just my mother raising my sister and I, right? Or my sister and me. And, so she had to do things on her own, whether or not she wanted to, she had to. So in some ways that has rubbed off to me. I have had situations before where I would turn around and ask a man for help. Now, you know that I am small. Everybody knows that I am small. Physically, there are things that I can't do. So when it is I reach out to a man for help, it's because I actually need the help. Now, when it is that I ask you for the help and you don't turn around and help me, and I do it for myself, then you're going to have these situations where like, but you didn't even wait for me. Now, why am I going to wait for you if I've asked you once, twice, and you haven't come through? I am not that type of person to be waiting. So I would just, whatever it is, I try to do it for myself. So I think that there is a bit of a challenge here, but what it is that I realize that you're speaking of is that there seems to be a dependency, I suppose, on the younger females who you've been interacting with. They're a bit more dependent on you, where in my case, because I'm a bit older, I don't have that same sort of
But you
challenge.
see, this is exactly my point. When the conversation comes up about dating, the first thing that it usually goes to is, as you're saying, oh, dependency. I don't date younger people generally. It's not about financial dependency, it's emotional dependency. We now enter the world where men don't have to put up the facade that we're tough all the time. We want a partner that's going to engage us, have conversations with us, so let us know that they're present, let us feel wanted, let us feel like we're doing enough, encourage us, support us in what we're doing. But generally, no, if we put too much effort, we don't see the same in return. Because, man, I spoke to a friend of mine and she was telling me, hey, he was explaining to his girlfriend, hey, I want you to compliment me here. Let me feel like you're proud that I'm a man. And he said that his girlfriend told him reasons why that should not happen as a man. As a man, you should not require certain things.
Because he's sounding needy. Did she use the word needy?
Well, we didn't get that in depth to what she said exactly. There was a conversation in passing. But that's the general belief. Okay, a man is supposed to do certain things, but then there's still these unrealistic expectations. You're supposed to fill the traditional masculine role without actually filling the traditional masculine role. And then the conversation starts about 50-50 and submitting. I think it starts with better communication, effort. Start with an actual foundation.
Right. One of the things that I've always said, though, is that, because this is why it says I wanted to engage you in the conversation, because to be honest, I find that a lot of good men and women in Vinci are quote unquote going to waste. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
But the thing too, so I speak of like even within my own instance where I don't leave home, right? So unless I find someone through my business, you ain't gonna meet me no way, right? And that's just because I've done enough in my younger years to not necessarily feel the need to be out there, to be seen, to be present, and that kind of thing, right? So one thing is that we don't know where to meet persons who we actually like, because if I know that somebody is by a bar every weekend, am I going to be with that person? No, because I'm not here to disrupt your life. If you choose to make that change, then it's fine, but I'm not here to disrupt your life. I tell you, let me buy a bar every weekend is not what I would want, to see happen. So one, we don't know where to meet these persons. Number two, it's as if everybody is a bit focused, because like for me, I don't know if right now, if I have the emotional presence to be there for someone, knowing that there are things within my own life that I am trying to deal with. Now, I remember having this conversation with a friend, and she said, but if you have a partner and that partner is really there for you, then you should not feel as if you're carrying the emotional burden you're alone, or you're not supposed to feel as if you're supposed to go through life by yourself. You're supposed to have the person there to share with you. But for me as well is that, do I necessarily want to bring somebody into my life knowing that I'm trying to deal with other things first, But the side part of that is also, do I want somebody in my life only when I'm in my good phase, in my happy phase? So I think it's a lot that you need to stop and to deal with when it comes to relationships.
Yeah,
and
relationships are give or take. I
really don't know where people find each other anymore these days, because And you were speaking about the cheating aspect. One of the things that I've always noticed is that I say WhatsApp is the devil, right? Because a whole relationship can start and end just through WhatsApp. And the thing of it is that, and I shouldn't probably just say WhatsApp, just social media on a whole, right? People, and I would call them spare tires. You are in a relationship, but you keep conversations with other persons in the event that this relationship that you're in falls through, right? And yes, it is that persons have been cheating from since the beginning of time. But why do you feel the need? And I've noticed this with men in particular. Why do you feel the need to encourage a female in conversation if you are saying that you're not cheating, right? What it is that I've found with men is that they have a difficulty in telling a female, no, I have a girlfriend. I am not going to be encouraging you in this particular way. I feel as if y'all are afraid to hurt a woman's feelings by telling her this. Or is it a case where you don't want to hurt her feelings in the event that things fall through with your current girlfriend?
I think it's the rule that men get who they can and women get who they want. And so whenever a man gets attention, generally, he leans towards that attention. So if he gets attention from his girlfriend, he doesn't want to let that go because he gets an attention. Who knows when he's going to get it again?
So it's an ego thing for y'all then?
I can't say y'all because I've never had that problem. I don't feel that way.
Okay.
But I had asked a question before I made this post. Do you believe that you can find love in your current country, in the country that you're in? And sad to say, I am at this stage where I feel like the love of my life probably isn't in St. Vincent. My best friend and we had a deep conversation, and she was telling me she feels like I hold people to an unrealistic standard based on my last relationship. But is it unrealistic if it existed in my last relationship?
What I think that you're going to forever be doing is chasing that feeling that you had with that past person with the next person.
And I think that in itself is a problem. But is it wrong to have the expectation because I know it exists? I know that people are capable of treating me how my ex had treated me in the past.
But is it a case where are you comparing the new person with that old person?
You know, people like to point out that we shouldn't compare, but we compare in everything. If we're moving on to a new job, we compare salary, compare work culture. Unconsciously, we're going to be comparing. It happens. Right. But if I'm comparing out loud, I think that's the problem. If I'm telling you, oh, my ex never used to do that, I think that's the problem.
The thing of it is that I don't know. I think maybe that there is maybe that one time in your life where you do find that absolute love of your life, and you may never necessarily find it back with another person, but you have to take that new person as they come, right? And the thing of it is that before going too deep into the relationship, there are things that you are going to see that maybe. Okay, so before I continue there, I think that there are many times that persons see things up front in relationships and they think that, okay, if I am around this person long enough, that it's going to go away, that I would rub off on that person.
I always say that.
You want to mold them into who you want for them to be, as opposed to either accepting or leaving them as they are.
But building also happens. I always say people show you who they are. It's sometimes up to you if you want to see it. Sometimes people are blinded by whatever reasons. But I think it exists for people to grow together, for people to build together, for people to find emotional maturity in a partner. I think that is quite possible. But we're running out of time. What I would say wrapping up is I believe that all of these would change if there is effective communication, if we eliminate the cheating culture. Some people are open to polygamy. Some people are open to having you talk to other people, flirt with other people. Some people are open to that. Find a person if that is what your life is about. But eliminate the cheating culture. Get realistic with the expectations.
I think that is what it is for me too.
And put in effort if you truly want to find love.
If you know you're not ready, then just lay it out. Say this. We just could be friends. And of course, some persons enjoy the friends with benefits. But if that's what you want, state it up front. Don't be misleading people.
Buy a toy.
Okay, then. At this time, let's take a break. Let's go right into our commercials, people.
Ladies